Hello and welcome to another live stream. Today we are taking part in a hackathon. So let's go and have a look and see what it's all about. So the Peerlist Hackathon. Let me zoom in quickly for you. Can I zoom in? Can I zoom in? I don't know how to zoom in on this browser. Typical. Okay. So there's a hackathon between the 17th and 21st of December with Peerlist. Now, if you don't know what Peerlist is, it's a kind of like another social media network. There's Spotlight for like launching products. There's Scroll for, I guess, like a news feed with articles, jobs, messaging. It's somewhat new, not completely new, but it's pretty cool. I think I've been on here for a while. I've not really used it as much as I probably could have done. But it's really cool. Like, I've connected my YouTube channel, connected my RSS feeds and my GitHub, and I just connected all my things, and away we go. Pretty cool, right? So this hackathon, the idea is that you can build literally anything, and it's going to be judged on user experience, technicality, originality, feasibility, presentation, and delightfulness. And you can find the link to that here. You go have a look, dub.sh/plist-hack. You can come here. You've got 1 day, 1 hour, and 31 minutes left to join. If you're in, I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, Bengaluru, that place in India. There is an in-person build day, but you can also join virtually, which obviously I am doing. Also, if you want, go ahead and sign up to Peerlist at peerlist.io. It's pretty cool. As usual, I am at Just Steve King everywhere. So you can come and follow me, and I'll follow you back, and we'll have some fun. But what are we doing, right? This is a live stream, it's a hackathon, and we got to build something. It's the criteria is open. Build something you want to see in the world. And I've made a repository that anybody can see, and it's a self-hostable web application that you can use to manage your freelance business. Super simple. It is going to be a cool way to manage a freelance business. Going to be building multiple tools within it over time. But I'm going to start with one that I need the most. Testimonials, feedback, that sort of thing. For this, I will be using Flux, which means I will be using Livewire. It's recently released themable stuff, which is super awesome. So I can say, actually, I want to do Violet, and we're going to generate that theme. And this is all we got to do. So fluxui.dev, it's amazing. Caleb's done a fantastic job. And yeah, Slate and Fuchsia or Indigo. Oh, so many choices. But anyway, this is what I got. I got a Laravel install. It's over here. I have to quickly run the migrations. It is super basic. I've got Composer Dev running, or did have Composer Dev running. So let's run that, Composer Dev. So we're just going to call this Dev. So that is all of that. So let's get started. So in our editor config, let's go ahead and say JSON, JS, and CSS for our indent size. And let's go and just format a couple of things there. We also want to detect TLS because I am using Laravel Herd. So that's going to detect all of that for me. I can just kind of clean that up. And what I'm going to do, I'm not using Victory, I'm using Inter. So there we go. Post CSS, let's just clean that up. PHP unit, let's make sure we've got a good place for our test suite. Package.json, let's just format that. Composer.json, let's format that. But also, let's fix it up. So just Steve King, freelance. And then if I open up the README, I can grab that and I can drop this in here. I don't know if there was any rules for like if it could be open source or not, but mine is PHP 4, obviously. So now what I need to do is do a quick composer update. While that updates, let's see what's going on. So we're going to want Flux and we're going to want some components. So that's now updated. Let's quickly bump so that we're on the latest version of all packages and we'll update again. Tick, 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 tick. Welsh Internet can do it. Perfect. So one thing I always install is Composer Require, Dev, and where are they? Not that one. Rave Security Advisories, don't need Laravel Pint, PHP Stan. There we go. So what I want to do is copy from CRM. I want to copy my Pint config here. I also want to copy my PHP Stan over here, and there we go. So down in my scripts, I can say, let's allow people to lint by running vendor bin pint test. Then we want to be able to actually run Laravel pint vendor bin pint. We want to run PHP Stan for our static analysis. Just because it's a hackathon doesn't mean we can't write good code. We put 3 gig. And then our test suite. PHP artisan test. Fantastic. So we'll close all of that up now. This is default Laravel with no boilerplate. We're not using any starter kit here, and we're going to be using Socialite for the authentication. I've already created the GitHub app. I've already added the environment variables, and I've already added the configuration down here. So what we want to do is jump straight into the routing. So over here, we're going to come and we're going to, let's just configure Laravel Pint to be on, to use freelance Pint to find in there and go. Ooh. Cannot run program. Validate. Ooh. Oh, okay, because I'm using PHP 4. Okay, so mute until restart. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that too much. So we'll declare some strict types. We'll do a lot of this manually, and we'll probably do some of this in CI anyway. So let's clean that up. And this is going to be a callback. This will be using. And then this will be roots, and that will be roots as well. So there's all of that inside of our roots. We want to go, here's our web directory, and here is our console directory. We're just going to grab that, and we're going to create a roots.php. Yep, don't ask again. What I'll do is just copy that into there, recopy that, and we're going to say declare strict types and use that. Currently, there's nothing really in here, so we can just come along and clear that out, and we'll start from scratch there. So delete those two because they're not needed. But one thing we will need is our OAuth roots. Declare strict types, drop that in again. And we're going to have a prefix for GitHub as GitHub group static function root get redirect name redirect. And we're going to have a root get callback with a name of callback. And we'll add some actions into this in a moment. So we are going to do a middleware guest prefix OAuth as OAuth group base path, where the path is roots web OAuth. So there we go. So now if we list our roots, OAuth GitHub callback and OAuth GitHub redirect. Everyone following, everyone happy. Let's keep going. So that is all of that. We're going to close all of that down. Inside app HTTP, let's delete that controller. And we're going to say directory. We're going to have an OAuth directory followed by a GitHub directory. Inside here, we are going to have a redirect controller and a callback controller. So let's work on redirect first. This needs to declare some strict types, and it will be a final class. We want to invoke pulling in the request from Laravel, and we will be redirecting. So this will return a redirect response. Callback, again, declare some strict types, make it final. Let's make an invocable method. Pull in that request. And again, this will also redirect to somewhere. So all of that is all configured. So we can come down here. We can say use app HTTP controllers OAuth GitHub. GitHub. And we've got the redirect. That should be spelled right. There we go. Redirect controller there. And then we're going to have the GitHub callback controller there. So we have got Socialite installed. So in theory, we can just say return Socialite facade driver, and the driver is GitHub, and we want to redirect. That should do it there. So then on this callback, we want to be able to get the user. So our user is going to be Socialite driver, where the driver is GitHub, and we want to get the user. Let's just and dump on that user. So far, so good. Hey, Benjamin, how are we doing? So what we need we're going to have like our homepage, and we're going to have some views and all of that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and create those. So let's add some middleware for auth we are going to give that a name of pages, and we are going to group on a closure. So our root view / is going to be pages.index, and the name is going to be home. So following along so far. So inside our resources views, we are going to want pages. Inside here, we are going to want index.blade.php. Now, this is only ever accessed if you are logged in. So let's go ahead and have a components directory. Then within here, we want to have our layouts. Then we're going to have a page.blade.php, which is our default. I like to just grab that. Let's just rename this one. Drop that in. Props. Title is going to be config app.name. That's all I need. So down here, we can say title. We're going to load in interfont. Drop that, and drop that. Pull this back, and we're going to say flux styles. Then go all the way to the bottom. Let's just grab all of this stuff. Drop it. We have a slot in there. And then we're going to have that. Let's remove all of that stuff. So we are going to have a class up here of hfull. And then down here, we want a minimum height of full, font sans, anti-aliased. And that will do to start with. So this page here, we can have an x layouts.page. Title is home. Oh, come on. I can type today, can't I? Homepage. So if we come back, this project is for the Peerlist Hackathon, which is a virtual or in-person hackathon between the 17th and 21st of December. Got some prizes here. First prize is 25,000. I'm guessing that's Indian rupees, maybe, but there's swag and credits for partners. A little bit of fun. You can build what you want, and away you go. Peerlist is a really cool social network. The repo is just Steve King /freelance. And now I can come here, refresh, root login, not defined. So this is coming from the authenticate middleware. So what I want to do is I want to override this. So let's go ahead and say, make some middleware. And we're going to call this authenticate. This is going to extend that middleware, which we are going to import as a base authenticate. So let's just declare some strict types there. Make this one final. Don't need that or that. Let's go have a look at where we're redirecting. This authenticate, this blah, 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 unauthenticated, redirect to. Get the path the user should be redirected to when they are not authenticated. So this is a string. Right. So we want to return root, and they are not authenticated. They want to go to auth or OAuth login, maybe, I think. So let's open up the Bootstrap app.php. And what we want to do here is we want to say middleware alias auth as authenticate. This is the one we want to use, not the built-in one. So now if we come here, root OAuth login not defined. Perfect. So let's close all of that and let's get that working. So pages, OAuth. We're going to create this login.blade.php. Oh, I really can't type today. I spent the last week or so on my laptop. So I'm trying to get used to using my keyboard again. Sign into your account. Sign into your account. So down in OAuth, prefix GitHub. No, what we want is a root view login view OAuth.login view pages.oauth.login. Sign into your account. Fantastic. So now we can start to use something like Flux. We're just going to come to here and we're going to say something like, I don't know, we're going to make a div class flex items center justify center. We're going to say that is a max width of 7 XL with an MX auto like that. Then we're going to want to stick a card in it, right? So let's come down to cards, card like that, something like this. So we're going to have, let's just grab this card and drop it in and see how it looks. So if we come over to here, sign into your account. Bob's your uncle. Okay, so what we want to do is make sure that we have dark mode enabled. So dark mode is going to use selector on our Tailwind. Then we're going to want to go all of this stuff, all of that stuff. There's examples here, toggle button, like that, toggle switch. I like this one though. So let's just grab that for now. And we're just going to, I know, we won't use that yet. Okay, so sign into your account. There we go. So let's inspect that. And let's just go and see. Okay, so we've got this bit here. Item center, justify center. Then we got this. This card, what we're going to want to do maybe is something like a margin top of 32, maybe. There we go. We've got this sign log into your account. So this is going to go and be sign into your account. Sign in or register using GitHub like that. Then flux field, no, not that one. And then these buttons is going to be like this, GitHub button. I'm pretty sure I can add a href to that and say root OAuth GitHub redirect. Pretty sure on buttons I can also add an icon. So here's our icons. We can add an icon. Let's see if GitHub loads, or if I need to go ahead and find that. No. Okay, so icons. Let's go make sure we got the right icons. Lucid icons, flux icon.github. Let's see what this does. GitHub. Fetch, would you like to import another one? No. So then flux icon crown, blah, blah, blah. There we go. So if I click that, we're coming over here. Hello, Junior, and hello, Ludovic. Authorize me. This is going to redirect, and there I am. I have a user. Fluxmania is back. It is. So let's close all of those. And what we want to do, come to our callback controller here. And what now I'm going to do a lot of this in a way that I usually wouldn't do, because I've got to try and get as much done in the time available. I've got 2 days to build this. So what we want to do is come up here, grab the constructor and say private read-only auth manager as auth, and we will log in a second, but also we're going to want the private read-only database manager as database. Now we're going to make that read-only. So what we want to do is this database transaction where the callback is going to be user query first or create. And the attempts, we're going to attempt that 3 times. This will be the model. And we could probably just inline something here like that. So attributes and values. So down here, we'll just quickly dump on the model. Actually, we won't do that, but we'll get to it. So what we need to do is we need to update our database down here. So all of this stuff needs a little bit of love, right? So let's do that. Add void. I haven't got Pint able to run automatically at the minute, so I don't know whether I need to update something. 2 plugins. No, not right now. So let's say foreign ULID index on the users table, and we'll cascade it. So then this can be a ULID, which is an ID, and we will make that the primary key. Now, all of this table, we want to add soft deletes. We're just going to delete all of that. So what we get back is a table string name, comment user's name. We're also going to get a table string handle, comment users handle, and we are going to make this unique. We will get the table string email, which is also unique, but we'll add a comment and we'll just add users email address. Then we're going to get their avatar, so table string avatar, comment, users, avatar. I mean, we don't need to add this stuff, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm here, right? Inside of our user, we can get the ID. So we can get like the provider ID, for example, which is that, for example. So we're going to have a table. We're going to add it as a text column in case we end up getting, that's not unique, multiple providers in the end. And we're going to have a table string provider comment users OAuth provider, and we're going to default that one. So to default that one, we want to come here and we're going to say enums identity. We're going to create a provider enum, which will be a string, and we're going to just start with the one of GitHub. We're going to declare some strict types, not that we need to, but we're going to do it anyway. So we are going to have a provider GitHub. Simplify that. So provider ID, we want to table unique provider and provider ID. So that is our user. Now the user model itself, we're going to need to fix up. Use notifiable, use has ULIDs, use soft deletes. Then we've got this list of strings which we can grab and copy to there. We're going to go back through these casts, return an array of string class string. So what we will have is our provider is a provider class. Hidden, we are going to hide the provider ID. And that is it. That is all we need to hide. It's not something you should or have to hide, but it's something that I am going to hide. Just because it's not needed. So then on the fillable, we have got our name, our handle, our email, our avatar, the provider, and the provider ID. I think that's all. Name, handle, email, avatar, provider, provider ID. Fantastic. So we've got ULIDs, we've got soft deletes and factories and all of that good stuff. So on this callback controller, so provider is going to be provider GitHub. Provider ID is going to be user get ID. Values, name, user get name, handle, nickname, email, avatar. That's all we need. That's going to give us a user back. And then we're going to say this auth login using ID. Where the ID is model get key, meaning we can return a new redirect response where the URL is going to be root pages home, like so. Following along, nice and simple, right? So let's go back to freelance.test. So what we can do is click to log in. This will take us there. So no users delete that. Not a big problem. So a migrate fresh. And now when we click, we should go to the home page and we are logged in. So we've got social authentication up and running with GitHub. That is awesome. That is all I wanted to do to start with. So the next thing that we want to do is to make a model for the next thing, which is going to be our testimonial. Yep. Factory, migration, and policy. So one thing we need to do quickly is just update this user factory here, because it's going to extend factory for the model. Oh, no, for the user. And this is going to return an array of string. Next. We're not worrying about this email verification stuff. And all of that can go for now. So we are going to have a name. This baker name. We are going to have a handle. This baker username. We have an email. This baker unique safe email. We are going to have an avatar. So we can say this baker image URL. We're going to have a provider. So we can just say provider GitHub. And the provider ID is just going to be a random string for now. So we can remove that, come to our testimonial, and we will get this started. Awesome. So a testimonial belongs to a user. Player closure static, add void, we're going to add a ULID. And we're going to have a table foreign ULID for the user ID. We have an index. It will be constrained to the users table, and we will cascade on delete. So what goes into a testimonial? So if I go to github.com, just Steve King, just steveking.com. This is my personal website. So inside source, content, config, my testimonials are built up with a name, a role, a company, an avatar, and a content. So that. And that's kind of what we need. So let's just drop that in. So table, string, name. Table, string, role. Where do they work? What's their job title? So then we've got a string of the company. We're going to have a table string for the avatar, because that's going to be a URL. And then we're going to have a table text for the content. But what we also need is like a state. So table string status, and we're going to have a default. So what we want to do is testimonials, and then we're going to have a status enum. We're going to have multiple ones. Case pending. Case approved and case rejected. We'll just go with that. And the default will be status pending. So by default, they're all pending. And eventually I can add AI to kind of, while it's in that pending state, go and check the sentiment and kind of give you some feedback and that sort of stuff. Okay. So the comment on this one, this would be like, I don't know. Laravel Jutsu. So if I come over to my testimonial, And we're going to come down to Laravel Jutsu, and we're going to add him in. So his role is YouTuber. Comment is Laravel Jutsu again. So we can just grab avatar, comment. I'm pretty sure he is on GitHub. GitHub.com Laravel Jutsu. Nope. Okay, we're just going to do that. And the content I won't worry about. So there we go. We've got our testimonials. So we're going to close all of the tabs. So let's go and get this up and running. So it's going to return an array of string mixed. Name this faker name. Role, company, avatar, status. We are going to say this faker random element where the array is status cases. And then that user ID will be user factory done. Up here, we can say that the model is the testimonial. Class string testimonial. All good, all good. Let's make sure that I added that in there. I didn't, so let's go ahead and add our model for the user. Class string for user. Awesome. So now testimonial needs filling in. We can simplify that and tell it that it does have UL IDs. And then the fillable. List of strings. Name, role, company, avatar, status, and user ID. And on the casts, we're going to return status class. This will return an array, and it will return an array of string class string. Finally, we can say public function owner. It belongs to. We're going to return this belongs to. Whether related is a user class, and the foreign ID is a user ID. We can return a belongs to a user for a testimonial. Back to user, and we could say public function testimonials has many. Return this has many. Whether related is a testimonial, and the foreign key is that user ID. Let's go add that comment up there. So we're returning a has many testimonial for a user. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and refresh. All good. And what we would do is just migrate the testimonials. And what we want, if we want to start kind of building out our UI as well. So let's come over to Flux. Let's come to the layouts, and we want a sidebar. something like this. So code, copy, come over to all of our stuff over here, and we want to come down to layouts, and we want to have an app.blade.php. This will accept potential plops of title, just like the rest. Config app name, and we want X layouts page. The title is the title. Drop that in there. And then if we come back to this index, we can switch this to app. So that when we come here, we have something. Right, drink break. How are we feeling, everyone? Are we feeling it? Does it make sense? Is it making sense for everyone? Because we are on a roll today. We are taking part in this fun little hackathon. So over here, what we want to do is that bit needs to go. That bit also needs to go. So there's flux sidebar, flux header, flux main. Drop that and go back and make sure that that refreshes and that's all okay. Awesome. We are good. So let's just do that. So far, so good. Don't need any side pages. Awesome. So we should have a user on this page. What I'm going to do is turn this to slate. That slate. And first slate to zinc. Just a personal thing. Logo, I'm just going to leave for now. Search, we're going to leave. Home. Testimonials. And ignore those. Settings help. User menu. This will be like the user. Header. Avatar. Log out. Main. Awesome. So here's our testimonials there. And what we might do is let's come back to here, back to dark mode, and let's do something like this. So nav list, spacer, nav list, settings and help at the bottom. And then let's see what happens if we just drop that in there. Boop, beep, boop. No errors. Getting a 404 from the favicon, not a big deal. So setting up Tailwind, I've set up Tailwind. Disabling dark mode, remove the dark body, honor the system preferences. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what we can do. So this is probably what's causing it there. So let's just remove that. Let's see what happens. Let me do that. Go and have a look. That is not really changing anything, is it? We'll worry about that in a minute. Okay, so we'll come back through with some proper styling, but we'll probably use that maybe within here, I don't know, or there. Don't need help. We will keep settings. So settings and that, maybe we'll just drop that radio out of there for now. So there we go. Favorites, we're going to ignore. So testimonials. Testimonials is the first thing that we're going to focus on. So let's add a route to pages, testimonials index. That's going to fail because it's not defined. So let's go ahead and start with that. Routes. And we're going to create testimonials in here. Let's just rename that to .php. Ugh. Let's just recreate that again. New file. There we go. We're going to declare some strict types, and we're going to use Illuminate support route, and we'll have a route view for the index, name of index, and this will go to pages testimonials.index. Now, that needs to be added into here. So middleware auth there. So then what we want is a prefix testimonials as group base path, where the path is that. Click on that. Not found. Perfect. So we can come over to views, pages, and delete that welcome because we don't need it. And we will create a directory for testimonials, and we'll create that new index.blade.php. X layouts.app, where the title is going to be testimonials. And then over here, what we want to do, there we go. So back to this layout. What we want to do now is allow ourselves to push things into it. So this main section here, this is what we want to replace. So we're going to make this the slot like that, so that when we come here, we can drop that in. Otherwise, things start to complain about multiple root elements. So here we go. We can say testimonials, and here are your testimonials. Else if and then if, blah, 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 blah. What have I broken? What have I broken? There. Here are your testimonials. So what I'm probably going to do is extract this to a new component under UI, and we're going to call this page heading.blade.php. What we'll do is this. Although that is probably going to want a div to wrap it like that. And it will have certain props. We'll have a title and a message. So then this can be title, then this can be message, like so. So if we have a look at this, that's what we got. And what we want to change it to is xui.page heading. Our title is going to be testimonials, and the message is going to be what our customers are saying about us. There we go. Standardization. We're getting there. So this will end up having a list or some description underneath. which will be part of some Livewire cards. So we're going to insert Livewire component here. Livewire component will go there for us to basically just kind of get all testimonials for this specific user. Come back to home. Need to relink that one. So let's come back to app. Where it says home, we are going to route this to pages, home. And we're not going to add any sort of current stuff on it. So then if we click on that, that is now there. Don't know what's going on with that, but we will see. So home, what we want is a Flux main P homepage. Homepage, testimonials. Fantastic. We're getting there. So what I will do now is close all those tabs. There's no settings that are needed for this, really. It's like relatively simple. Testimonials, close all that, close all that. So to capture testimonials, we're going to need some sort of a form, but we also want to display them. So let's say a live wire. Have we got it all set up? Yes. Let's make a new component. And this is going to be testimonials. And we are going to put this under I don't know, an index list. So let's open our index list. Here is our component. This receives a view factory. So we can say factory make this view, and we will return a view. The final, and we will declare some strict types. So testimonials index list. Let's come back to our testimonials page down here. And this part here will then be Livewire testimonials.index-list. Fantastic, fantastic. And in Livewire testimonials index list, let's just uncomment that to make sure it's there, and it is. So what we want to do is get all testimonials for this user. So we are going to say testimonials, and we're going to return a collection. Return testimonial query latest get, but we want to make sure that we say where the column user ID operator is equals, and the value is auth ID. So on my index list, what we'll do is we are going to replace this just for now with a UL. And then we will say, or else this testimonials as testimonial. If it is empty, we will do something else. And for else, such empty, much wow. Testimonials index list. Wait a minute. I need to tell it that this is actually computed. There we go. Search empty much wow. Perfect. So what I will do is I will say Tinker and app models testimonial factory for app models user first as the owner. Let's create 10. Not null constraint failed, testimonials.content. Okay, so the factory is something that I need to finish off, apparently. Status and the content. This Baker real text. So let's try that again. Come back to here, refresh, and we've got a testimonial. So over in Flux, what I can get is something like a card. Something like this, maybe, I don't know. Something just really simple that we can then work with in a little bit. Oh, thanks, Sheriff. Thank you very much. I try to make them fun. Right, so let's do that. We don't really need a button, but what we'll do is we're going to make this primary, and we're going to say view instead. So testimonials, are you sure? Blah, blah, blah. Lots of testimonials, looking good. Testimonial name. Lots of people. Testimonial role at testimonial company. So, umpire and referee at Corkery Limited. This is something that I'm going to kind of tweak and play with. But what we probably want to do here on this UL is add a class of something like space Y12 or 6 might be better. Just enough that we've got some breathing room to visually scan through them. We're also going to want to do something like a panning at the top of 12. Just give it a bit of breathing room away from that header up there. So we can say, awesome, awesome. We can see all these. We could kind of do something with that, but we'll see. One thing that I just noticed that's probably going to bug me is if I come back to my page here, and what I want to do is add a wire navigate to it. I don't know if this is added by default, but it looked like it was flashing. There we go. Smooth as a duck. Because apparently ducks are smooth. What I will want to add is a way to request a testimonial. So what we'll probably have next is a make a model testimonial request. Factory migration policy, go. Let's close all of that down. And what we're going to do is we are going to do a testimonial request. And what all it needs is declare it static, void UL ID as ID, primary table, foreign UL ID for a user, index constrained to the users table, and we will cascade. We want table string name, table string email, and I mean, we could put an expiry on it, but I'm just not going to right now. So we've got a name, an email, and a user. So what's going to be unique here is going to be the user ID and email. You don't want to send multiple testimonial requests to the same person, but you can resend an existing one. So testimonial request, let's go ahead and fix this up. Factory testimonial request. This is going to return an array of string mixed, name, this faker name, email, this faker unique, safe email, then that user. User factory. So for the model, testimonial request. This is a class string of testimonial request. And over here, let's just simplify that and say that it has ULIDs and it is also notifiable. Our fillable properties is a list of strings. So we've got a name, an email, and a user ID. Public function owner belongs to, return this belongs to, related is a user, and the foreign key is user ID. Then we can return a belongs to a user testimonial request like that. So then this can have many testimonial requests. Public function testimonial request has many. Return this has many. Related testimonial request class, and the foreign is a user ID, and we will say that this returns has many testimonial request user. Like so. So you can send a testimonial request, basically, is what we're saying. We'll make this final class. Make this a final class. Let's declare some strict types. Actually, this is going to take too long. Let's just run composer pint. That'll fix all the things. There we go. So that's all of that stuff. That is looking good. Let's migrate. Fantastic. Close all of those. And what we want for our testimonials, we're going to want like ones we have as well as like ones we've kind of sent. So we got basically this is this flux tab group to wrap it all up. So inside of our resources, views, Livewire, testimonial index list, let's just do this. Received, requested. Received, requested. Ignore the billing. Drop that. Let's spell it properly. So we've got received, requested, and then inside of our received, we'll have that. Inside of here, we are going to have requests as testimonial, and we're going to have name and email up there. And this will be something like a resend. So then on our index list, what we also want to do is say public function requests. This is going to return a collection, return testimonial request, query, get. And we can literally just grab that because it's the same thing. And there we go. And then again, this is a computed. So come back here and received requests. We can flick through them. It would be cool if like these tabs could so you can dynamically do it. Icons. It'd be cool if it would like update the URI. But never mind. So received and requests. Like that, and then we're going to come over to this tag group. We're just going to add a quick padding top of 12 and see how it looks. Here we go. We've got a bit of space. So then this doesn't actually need that massive padding top anymore because it's all going to be good. Okay, so here's all the ones that we've received. Any that we might have sent, which we will then, let's go and generate some. So let's go Atinker testimonial request factory this time. Requests sent. You sent it to that person, so you can like click a resend, and that will then defer and queue and send and magic like that. And that will then send an email. So what we want to do is make an observer. Testimonial request observer. Testimonial request. Let's open up that testimonial request observer. And we will want just created for now. When it is created, let's add a constructor. We're going to say private read-only bus. Dispatcher bus. Like so. This can be read-only. And then what we want this to do. So when we create it, we basically want to just say like defer sending it. So the callback would be this bus dispatch, and the command would be something. So let's go ahead and say, I don't know, make a job. And our job is going to be testimonials send request. So this can be a new send request. And what we'll do, we'll say like the request is the testimonial request. So this can then be a public read-only testimonial request as a request, because it is notifiable. So what we can do is say use serialized models like that. And down here right now, I don't need anything. So we need a notification. Let's make a notification. What should the notification be named? Testimonials, new testimonial request. We'd like to create a markdown view. Why not? What should the markdown view be named? Mail, testimonials, new testimonial request. Perfect. So what we can do is say this request notify where the instance is a new testimonial request, and we are going to pass the request through for now. So this is also queuable, so we'll serialize models on that, and then we'll have a public read-only testimonial request as a request, like so. And then via, we're just going to at return a list of strings. So this is going to be sent by email to mail. We're going to add a subject, and the subject is going to be you have been sent a testimonial request. And then the view is that. Awesome. Return array. Not really needed, I guess. We don't know what the iterable is, so we can just ignore it for now. So that's going to send all of that. Then what we're going to want to do on here is we want to generate like a URL, right? So we need a temporary URL. So public read-only string URL. So this URL equals URL facade temporary signed root, where the name is root. We can say pages, testimonials, complete. That. So this is a temporary signed root, which is going to be temporary signed URL. Should give it a string. Why is this complaining? Okay, so that needs to be just this. So name, parameters. The request is going to be this request ID. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? Method temporary signed root. Laravel docs. Temporary URLs. Signed root. We need a signed root, not a temporary URL. So we want a signed root, name, parameters, expiration, now add a week. That'll do. So we've got the URL there so that in our views under mail, we can say, hey, request name, you have been requested to provide a testimonial on config app.name. Please click the button below to provide your testimonial. Provide testimonial. And the URL is going to be URL. Like so. Okay. We got there. So that's going to do all of that. That's going to do all of that. So what we need is just say, okay, this is observed by that. Let's import that, import this. And what we would do is now if we tinker and do that, let's go and look at our mail. Let's go make sure that we can actually log this. Mail. That. And then what we'll do is tinker, create them again. Come back. No mailboxes. No. Okay. Oh, it's been logged or something at the minute, is it? Queries, jobs, views, requests. Ooh. Okay, let's try it again. Nothing happening. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. So I've got that all connected there. That should be sending all of that stuff. Maybe it's to do with the defer. So let's just grab that and do that instead. Let's do it this way. Optimize clear. Tinker. Do that. Pages, testimonials, complete, not defined. Aha, that's why it's not working. So testimonials, let's just go ahead and go complete.blade.php x layouts.page, where the title is going to be complete your testimonial. Look main. Please fill in the form below to complete your testimonial. It's going to do it that way. There's dev. Send it again. Oh, it's not in the roots. Damn it. Roots, web, roots. Okay, so I need to grab that and move it upwards. Root as that. Pages, group. static function. Then we want to grab all of this, drop that in there. And then we're also going to have root view testimonials complete pages testimonials dot complete testimonials complete. Don't know what's going on there, but something's happening. Fail, send request. Undefined variable request in the view. Okay, so this is going to send that request. This has a request in there. New testimonial request. That gets a request as well as the URL. ID, add a week. To mail, subject, markdown. So let's just go ahead and see if I need to do this. View is that. Data is an array where the request is this request and the URL is this URL. Do. Any luck, done. Something's going on here. CSS to inline, blah, blah, blah. So let's go and look at mails now. Haha, you've been sent a testimonial request. So let's copy that link and let's come over to here, paste that in. Please fill in the form below. Perfect. So we have something. And it works eventually. Okay, so we are getting there. What I'm probably going to do is I'm going to draw a line under it all there. Git status, add all of that rubbish. Git commit, and we're going to say feature added testimonials and testimonial requesting. Push that up. So that is all I really wanted to achieve right this second. I can send them. I just got to add a couple of forms, add an API endpoint so you can fetch your own. Job done, right? But there's going to be a few more tools, a few extra things that you can do. So thank you very much for watching. Stay awesome. Catch you next time. I'm going to go do some work that's actually going to pay me. So see you later. Bye-bye.